is Tennessee's first state park.
You kind of want to lean forward, right?
Are you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah! It's awesome the way it just paddles it.
All aboard!
It's always fun to go to a state park we've been to, but this week we're going to a park we've never been to.
I love exploring new parks. There's always something about, being comfortable where you're going and you know all the stuff. But I'm looking forward to exploring both the park and Chattanooga. We've never explored Chattanooga.
It's surrounded by the Chickamauga Reservoir, which is part of the Tennessee River system. So there's lots of things to do on the water here.
And this is Tennessee's first state park. We have a habit of doing that. Like with Chadron in Nebraska and now Tennessee.
Wow, look at the boat ramp.
Wow, boat ramp is going off today.
It's busy today. All right, there's our sign. Next left.
Next left, here we go.
This week we're at Harrison Bay State Park, 30 miles outside Chattanooga. It's a great place surrounded by the Chickamauga Lake.
Established 1937.
It was a beautiful drive in. We had the lake on one side, we had the mountains on the other side. It was a really nice drive all the way into the park.
It was beautiful. Once we get in here, we go to the ranger station, get to check in, get our campsite, and then we got greeted by Ranger Matt.
We have 1,200 acres in this park, and we're right along the Tennessee River on the Chickamauga Lake. Our main focus is being right here on the Tennessee River. Everyone comes here for lake recreation. We have a lot of people who come for fishing, water sports, pretty much anything you can do right on the edge of the Tennessee River. So we have 162 campsites in our campground, split into 4 different camping areas, A, B, C, and D. Those campsites all have water and electricity except for Campground D, which is primarily for tents.
When you come to a park like this, when you wake up every day, there's deer all over. That's a great sign that you got great people that leave the wildlife alone, and the deer and all of the wildlife are happy to be here.
So the point is our picnic area. It's our primary day use area for people who are coming out to get out on the water from the shoreline. We have 198 boat slips, and it is operated by the state. Sunsets here at Harrison Bay are absolutely beautiful. You can go to the Patton Hill area or the Point or our lakefront area, and any one of those has a great view of the sunset.
All right, you ready to go?
I am. Which way we going?
We're headed to sunset, then we got to get back for the Stanley Cup Finals.
Woohoo! Go Bolts!
So after we talked to Ranger Matt, he told us the best place to watch the sunset was on a hike called Patton Hill.
You know, you said in our wedding vows, you would always take me on adventures, and I said, I will always have the snacks.
We'll see what Mother Nature has for us tonight. There's been a lot of storms west of here.
No matter what it is, it'll be wonderful, because it's what we get. Do we know where we're going?
Oh, there's a beach down here, is what he said, and it's a great view of the lake. So this is going to be our first view of Chickamauga.
You're looking at Chattanooga. What a treat.
Looks beautiful.
Wow, look at those houses over there. And
Wow.
there's some mist over in the cove.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Oh, how cool.
The weather wasn't the best, but you know what? It doesn't truly matter about the weather. It's about being time with Patrice and I down at the lake, watched what was left of the sunset, but it still was wonderful.
We got to look across at some of the mountains and the mountain homes. It was still a really, really nice sunset with you. Oh, it's beautiful here, and I don't want to leave yet.
Mother Nature, I think, is gone, but there's a little color coming in over there. You never know.
It was wonderful. Even though the sunset didn't show, we still had a great night, headed back to camp. It's only day one.
Day 2 arrived, we jumped in the Toad, headed up to Lookout Mountain for a history lesson of Chattanooga. We arrived at the Incline Railway and met Matthew, the general manager, and he got to give us some great info about this really historic ride up to Lookout Mountain.
You're here at America's most amazing mile, which is the Lookout Mountain Incline Railway. And you're about to experience a grade of track at 72.7%. And it is the steepest railway in the world.
It's tough to get out at the bottom because you're slanted back so far.
It's actually perfect for me because you know when I take pictures, it's always kind of leaning to the left.
The incline itself is actually built on an 18-degree angle. So that way, when you're down here at the lower station, you're somewhat at a reclined position, so that way, when you get to the top of the mountain, you're not falling out of your seats. The incline is actually 125 years old. It was mainly designed to transport people up and down the mountain. It was just the quickest way to get up and down the mountain.
Oh, there goes another one. Oh, how cool!
That's neat.
That's neat.
Very cool.
Ride takes you 10 minutes. You will actually go through 3 different towns. The town down here is called St. Elmo, and you're in Chattanooga now. As you go up, you will go through the National Park Service, and then once you get to the top, you'll be in the town or city of Lookout Mountain. I think I am a part of history. I have contributed a lot of different things to the incline in my 30-some-odd year tenure here.
You kind of want to lean forward. Oh my gosh, this is so sweet.
Look at the view. This is insane. It's a slow motion roller coaster, really. You hook in when you're laying back like this, and then by the time you're up at the top, you're sitting up straight. You have to get out of your seat. You're almost leaning forward, and you have to walk up the stairs. Wow,
Whoa.
that's right.
Don't lean too far
Talk
down.
about incline, here we go. Thank you, Gabe. It's a short walk from the station down here to Point Park. We got to meet Ranger Jim. It's very cool that the National Park Service has taken over this area and turned the battlefield into a memorial. Can't wait to see it.
Let's go. Well, let's go in, have a look.
Fantastic. Wow.
Gorgeous. Well, you're here on the Lookout Mountain battlefield right now. It's one of the several battles fought for control of the city of Chattanooga in the late summer of 1863. Chattanooga is the doorway, gateway, passageway through the mountains to the Confederate heartland in central Georgia. The Union Army wants to gain control of the Chattanooga area so that they can then push an army on into Georgia. Famously, this will be Sherman's march across Georgia in 1864. The New York Central Memorial, or what is commonly called the New York Peace Monument today, stands in Point Park as a symbol of the reconciliation and reunification that veterans of both sides agreed to, and as a show for the world as the United States stepped out onto the world stage in the 1890s.
I had a much greater appreciation for what went down here at Point Park after learning the history from Ranger Jim.
The National Park is really nice up here. It's definitely a tribute to the history of this area.
I think Ranger Jim might be my new best friend. I'm gonna keep him on speed dial so I can dial him up and have any questions about it again. I have a whole different perspective of the Civil War and what went on here in Chattanooga.
It was a really incredible talk with Ranger Jim. I learned a lot. And down there is tomorrow, the Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
Fantastic. Are you ready to hit the incline?
Yeah, let's go.
You know, this gives you a perspective of how our cities grew, how our communities grew. Our history of our country is not always pretty, but it's necessary to know why things happened.
Day 3 arrived. We headed downtown to Market Street to check out the Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
I knew where we were going because you said to me, all aboard!
The Chattanooga Choo-Choo, more than a hotel now.
Nice. I bet it's cool staying here in this
Yeah, it's different, I know that.
Look at the Art Deco.
Wow, look at that.
Oh my God, look all the way up.
Oh, look, the trains from Atlanta, Cincinnati, and Memphis all came here.
And we've been to the one in Cincinnati.
Yes, we have.
It's crazy to think it's been here since 1909.
All right, let's go check out the Choo outside.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the original Choo?
Looks like it.
Wow.
Read something here about it. It was on March 5th, 1880 that the first passenger train leaving Cincinnati for Chattanooga was nicknamed the Chattanooga Choo-Choo.
How'd you like to stay in one of these?
Back in the day, yes. Today, no. I like
come on.
I like my RV.
Wow, look at this old beast. Wow, look at this.
Could you imagine the guys that had to shovel the coal?
It must have been so hot in here. Oh. You ready to ring the bell? Let's do it. All aboard. Wow, that thing is loud. Man, you could hear that all over the town. On our first date, we realized that we both wanted to be rock stars. So while we're in Chattanooga, I figured I'd bring him to the Songbirds Museum.
You would plan a day like that. I heard this place has a kids program where every kid gets a guitar and music lessons so they can become a rock star themselves.
It's a guitar and pop culture museum.
Are you ready to rock and roll?
Yeah. Wow. Look at this place. We got to the Songbirds Museum and we walked in and met Reed. Reed took us all through the museum. It was really an interactive experience.
Oh, there he is.
How are y'all? Welcome to Songbirds.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Reed.
Nice to meet y'all.
Let's check it out. I'm looking forward to it.
All right, let's get a tour. This side of the museum is the STEAM section of the museum. It's talking about the science of sound, how the guitar works, basically what the problem was that created the guitar and how they rectified that problem. And the problem was feedback, was the main issue that we had when coming up with the electric guitar.
They made all the exhibits for kids. You can punch all the buttons, of course. That's what I was doing. The infinite loop of what creates feedback.
My nephews would love this one. I like how they broke sound down in science, you know, how the waves of sound move, the amplifiers, the pedals, how they invented things. It was awesome.
Everything we do here is to support our Guitars for Kids program, and it's a big program. We've grown over the last 5 years to encompass 3 states. We give out about 1,000 free guitars to kids every year. We see every year arts and music programs getting cut in our schools for different reasons, and we created this program to combat that.
We need places like this. We need inspiration and motivation for our kids, and music is such a gift. Cadillac green, that's gorgeous.
All these are just absolutely beautiful.
Dude, do you hear that? I think I hear music.
Somebody's playing live music.
They gotta find it. It's a really historic city, but what we're finding out is that there's lots of little new things, and the new community coming in is very creative.
I will be back for sure when I come to Chattanooga, and I want to definitely check out some music here.
Yeah!
All right. Day 4 arrived, and I had something special planned. We headed to the Reflection Riding Arboretum and Nature Center to ride what is called the Swincars.
It's like a little crawling spider. I don't know how else to describe it.
So when we got there, we met Chris. He was going to be our tour guide for the day.
We've got about 15 miles of off-road trails here at Reflection Riding that we're going to be taking. Most of them are going to take us right at the side of Lookout Mountain right here behind us.
Perfect.
So yeah, we've got quite a day planned. The cars are a little bit unique. You'll notice that there's this pendulum that they're built on here. So when you take tight turns and when you go up on an embankment, it's gonna swing you back to center. Makes it a lot harder to roll over in these than it would in like a standard side-by-side. It also looks really cool.
It does look really cool. It's crazy.
But you've got independently articulating arms. We've got 1,000-watt motors in all 4 of these wheels, so all the power we need to get right up the side of the mountain.
All right, you ready? All right, let's go.
We also got to meet Patrick, the owner of the Swincars here, and he rents them out. It's a neat time.
The Swincar is really unique because, number one, it's built on a pendulum design to keep the driver upright and vertical and as safe and stable as possible while in rugged terrain. But it's very lightweight, so it doesn't really disturb the ground that it goes over. It's super eco-friendly, totally quiet, no emissions, and comfortable and stable.
Super weird that all your controls are on your hands. You've got your throttle and your brakes all in the hands.
I felt like I was floating along, that the wheels were moving, but the body stays still. It's all electric. What a great way to experience the foothills of the Lookout Mountain. What's really cool about these things is that it goes in all kinds of terrain. So like this wash right here, just really, it's awesome the way it just battles it.
And this thing just climbs over all those big roots and rocks. Instead of us doing all the scrambling, all 4 wheels independently did the scramble for us.
Man, it's just such an interesting ride. It's like floating.
It's easy to learn how to operate, a little harder to master because the 4-wheel steering makes it feel different than anything else you've driven.
We got to ride back under the canopies again, cliffs on the side of Lookout Mountain on the backside, and it was wonderful.
So the mission of our company is to continue to introduce electric-powered vehicles, green technology, and how that they can fit in with people's lifestyles.
It's hard to believe it's that close to downtown Chattanooga. I mean, you just come off the mountain, you're close by all the other attractions, all right there. Chattanooga is a really cool town.
They go 20 miles per hour. Chris led us through all the trails. It was just a really fun time. It's something I definitely recommend for all the family. So another great weekend, this time in Harrison Bay State Park, just outside Chattanooga. I love the cicadas, just the sound of camping. You've got kids next door.
outside catching lightning bugs.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I love camping.
It's camp life. Chattanooga is now something that I need to come back and see more. We only scratched the surface.
Absolutely. I am a big fan of Chattanooga. I had no idea all of the things that were here, and I'm ready to come back, certainly. I'm ready to do more.
So, while we were down there exploring the Choo, I went across the street to Chattanooga Whiskey.
Okay.
I picked up a bottle of sweet whiskey that they distill here.
Okay.
And a bag of fire whiskey pecans. And I think I'm gonna make you a little dessert.
On the new grill?
On the Magma.
You got a pizza oven, and you got a griddle, and you got a grill, but you're not even using any of them.
Nope, just the burner and
Cool.
a cast iron skillet. The most exciting part.
Wow.
Here we go, Opa!
Nice.
Get a pecan, get a banana, get some of it all. Chattanooga Bananas Foster.
What a great way to end the evening.
Come on.
Cheers to Chattanooga. Can't wait to see where we're going next.